It's time for another Big Damn Love, the web series with no following, sponsorship or budget. But I tell you what we do have, heart. I keep this one in a bag. With Injustice 2 about to hit shelves, I thought it was high time I confessed my adoration for the first chapter in this series, and its many, many versions. See, I'm not a dab hand when it comes to fighting games. I had Killer Instinct and Street Fighter 2 on the SNES when I was a kid, and I was fine at them. I played a few Tekken games in the mid-90s as well. But it was on the PlayStation 2 with X-Men Next Dimension that I really got a feel for them. I went back and checked out the Mutant Academy games, which then led me to the franchise of glory and nonsense that is Marvel vs. Capcom. Pitting Ryu against Mega Man was fun enough, but the superhero side of it all played on that pointless yet fun debate that we all get into at some point. Who would win in a fight between X and Y? Could Spider-Man defeat the Hulk? Can Wolverine hold his own against Captain America? It scratched that fan-wanky itch so well that when Midway Games announced Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, I was frantically giddy at the prospect of the fantasy fatalities of the distinguished competition. Who would win in a fight? Superman or Batman?
Superman. It's Superman. Don't give me your Frank Miller Elseworlds alternate future bullshit. It's always gonna be Superman.
The Mortal Kombat franchise would spin back into itself after this to create the 9th entry in its series, the engine and format of which gave birth to Injustice: Gods Among Us, the 2013 beat-em-up title that told the tale of a bleak alternate universe where Earth is policed by a team of tragic, misguided former heroes and their one-time friends who lead the underground operation that plans to take them down and restore peace to the world. The story is, funnily enough, the most interesting inclusion for my money. When I first saw the marketing for the game, I was intrigued as to what excuse they would have for the heroes squaring off against one another, aside from obviously the two-player competitive side of it all. But the campaign does not disappoint. Incredibly well written, it tells the horrific tale of a world where, tricked by the Joker into setting off a huge nuclear bomb in Metropolis before murdering Lois Lane and their unborn child with his own two hands, Superman is pushed completely over the edge, killing the Clown Prince of Crime and forcing a new regime of law and order across the world. Those who stand by him obey without question. Those who oppose his totalitarian rule are detained, disciplined, or just completely destroyed. Meanwhile, in the actual DC universe, during a battle involving similar stakes, Joker's bomb attack is foiled as Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Aquaman and Green Lantern are teleported to the Regime universe, accidentally bringing Batman and the Joker with them. 5 years have passed since Superman turned dictatorial, and the Batman of that universe, leading a rebellious insurgency, has recruited allies from a different timeline to help take down the regime once and for all. Chaos ensues, people meet their doubles, and all the while Flash, Cyborg and Superman back in the main universe try to figure out what happened to their friends and eventually make the move to cross over themselves. You can totally see that the evil Superman is doing what he thinks is going to keep everyone safe, but his spiralling madness stops him from realising what a danger he himself has become. He's trying to maintain peace through violence, and is aided in his quest by some rather interesting Kryptonian technology. Nanotech pills that merge the user with Kryptonian DNA have been developed by Superman's regime to give his superpower-less allies an increased resilience as well as heightened speed and greater strength. Luckily our heroes get a hold of some too. Think a multivitamin, but a nice one, you know? Like it gives you super strength and doesn't taste like melted cardboard and isn't so fucking big that you start choking on it and have to call your neighbour in to give you an emergency Heimlich while you stood there in your pants covered in milk and Rice Krispies.
What an oddly specific comparison.
Shut up. The moveset of each character is pretty varied, with parries and special moves dotted into the setup, much like Mortal Kombat 2011, and although the series' fatalities aren't carried over, come on, it'd be pretty messed up to see Wonder Woman gut Green Arrow alive and then pop his head off with a lasso. We get a much more DC-appropriate alternative, with heavy action scene transitions and brutal, sometimes hilarious super moves. Thanks to the DNA pills, every character can take the punishment, but it's still a wonderfully over-the-top sight to see someone as mortal as Catwoman getting punched into space and come out of it feeling fine. Feline. Feeling feline. Oh, missed opportunity. Damn it, Johnson. The story reaches the inevitable slugfest as the real Superman makes it over to the Regime universe by the story's end, taking on his twisted counterpart in a final fight so righteous and biblical that insert Zack Snyder Superman joke here. Character selection is kinda tough, because alongside the usual lightweight, heavyweight, close-up, long-range attack styles, you have to choose between your favourite DC heroes and villains, and it's heartbreaking if you don't match up with one another. Personally, I tend to excel with Aquaman, Shazam, Harley Quinn or Sinestro. In fact, once I'm in my flow, I cannot be stopped. Wait, what? What are you doing here?
You know, just, do
No! Go back to your own videos.
Oh.
We got some Martians to talk about or something. Some truck that turns into a man that turns into a truck again. Just push and pull. Yeah. As I was saying, you have plenty of chances to hone your skills in the hit and miss Star Labs challenges, the interesting spins on the arcade mode in the battle menu, and of course the online multiplayer. But that isn't the only way to play Injustice. Oh no! Before the sequel comes out, there are plenty of other options to prepare yourself with. When the PlayStation 4 rocked up in late 2013, one of the earliest titles available was Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, also released for the PS3, Xbox 360, Microsoft Windows, and PS Vita. This was the Game of the Year complete DLC version of Injustice essentially, which I eventually got to sample as a PlayStation Plus release a couple of Christmases ago. For those who want a game on the move, there are two excellent portable versions of Injustice that you can play. There is the mobile app version, more on that in just a second, and the PlayStation Vita edition. The Vita version of Injustice is similar to most ports to lower-powered consoles. It's essentially the entire game, just scaled down graphically. The character models and environments are a lower quality than the console renditions, but they suit the smaller screen perfectly, even if close-up some of them have really funky-looking teeth. The cutscenes in the story mode are still present, albeit in a lower resolution, and the soundtrack, sound effects, and voice acting all sound as great as they did on console. Plus, being a later release, the PS Vita edition is the ultimate edition of Injustice. You've got all the DLC, all the extra characters, which means you've got much more to choose from for the battle campaigns, or of course your online play. Just prepare yourself to wait. Every time I challenge someone to a fight online, it usually takes more than 5 minutes to pair me up with someone. Is there anybody out there? Meanwhile, over on Android and iOS, we got a free-to-play mobile version that had no story mode campaign, but instead several different challenges with increasing levels of difficulty. You tap, swipe, and drum your way through different types of moves, block strategically, and upgrade each character's card to make your moveset more powerful, and the super moves are all there in their entirety. Early on, having a Warner Bros. ID login on your PS3 and iOS editions of the game would unlock extra content for each with certain achievements and challenges on both versions. For example, signing up on this unlocked a character skin on the console version that you could only get by doing that. Eventually, an online mode was introduced where you face off in PvP-style matches with other players' profiles and cards from around the world. There's also the power-dispensing survival mode, where you can gamble big for prizes, and a weekly challenge section where you can grind and earn a rare and exclusive character card for your collection. The catch, of course, as with most mobile games, is that your energy bar can run out after a few fights and you have to wait for it to refill or pay cash money for more energy refills. However, if you have at least 9 characters and don't plan on spending hours at a time on the app, you can easily cycle through your lineup and play for longer without needing to spend anything at all. The more character cards you have in your collection, the more you can play whilst your older ones recharge. I haven't spent a penny on this game in 4 years and I've got well over 50 character cards. Different characters' costumes count as separate players, so you could have several versions of each character with their own unique moves and skill sets and stat bonuses. Plus, Injustice Mobile has a bunch of DC Comics characters that didn't appear in the main version of the game because they could update it as time went by. Wanna play as the Arkham Origins Joker? You got it. Wanna be Margot Robbie's Suicide Squad Harley Quinn? She's in there. Wanna play as Darkseid? You can, is what I'm getting at. However, with the impending release of Injustice 2 for mobile, we've yet to receive any word on the continuation of this version of the game. It also looks unlikely that you'll be able to transfer your roster from this one to the new one. So thanks for that. Do you BigDamnLove Injustice Gods Among Us? Have you read the comic book series? Are you excited for the sequel? Who's your favourite character to play as? Which version is your favourite to play? And most importantly, do you think you could beat me in a 2-player? Because I highly doubt it. But you're welcome to try. Where's the... Bang on, I had 2 controllers. Where's...
the controller?
What?
Where's the controller?
What?
Where's the controller?
What?
Where is it?
The control?
Where's the controller?
Oh. Hey. Here?
Where's the controller?
I do have...
Where is it? Where is the controller?
Hello.
Where's the controller?
It is here. Like, it's right here in my hand.
No! What you have done today is commit a grave act of injustice. And as such, it's time to die.
I mean, it's here? What? Look, I'm not gonna fight you.
No! It's time for you to meet the Hammers of Justice. Injustice. Gods Among Us. Ultimate Edition. Do you know what this is?
Well, yeah,
It's the key to me kicking your ass.
it's a rancid skittle.
Come on!